Alright, so it's Inspiration Wednesday, and I have been sewing for the past couple of days. I've been making name tags for Inspired, and my desk looks like this. So I'm thinking, why don't I take some of these fabric pieces that I've cut and put them into my inspiration journal today and maybe paint on them. And I've got combinations of canvas and muslin here. So I'm thinking maybe to just kind of layer this page with some canvas and muslin. So let's see how that goes. Alright, so I've covered this page, and now I think I'm going to gesso it. Now, I'm assuming the gesso will kind of absorb into the canvas and it won't spread too well, but let's just see. It's not going to go on like paper, but maybe that's okay. Like, maybe I want that kind of dry, brushy, patchy thing going on. So, we'll see. And I've got two different weight fabrics here. The glue's not going to I guess not that that matters, but that's what I had out on the table, so maybe the color will take differently. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm kind of hoping that I can brush this and get the edges to fray a little. I want there to be a little bit of texture. I'm feeling the overwhelming need for drippage, and I think I'm going to go to my Crinacridone Magenta, and I'm like running low and I'm like going to have a panic attack. But I'm thinking I might need some drippage. So I'm going to add, I have a little spooge of paint over here, and my brush had water on it. So I'm just adding some water to it. I'm going to add just a little bit more water to it, just to get it drippagey because I think the fabric's going to kind of infringe it on like trying to drip as nicely. So, oh yeah. I guess I had some white from the gesso still on my brush, so that's kind of cool. If you can see, it's got a little bit of marbling to it. When I'm pushing on the edge of the page, it's kind of, maybe not anymore. That's cool. So I've got some drippage, and then I'm going to spray it, and hopefully it does some cool things around the texture. I don't even know if I think I like it just like that. Do I want to do any over there? Maybe a different color over there. I'm kind of liking the fade. Ooh. I'm going to dry that and then maybe come back with some more drippage. I was going to drippage again over this, but I really love being able to see the texture, and I'm not sure. I'm going to see if I can even zoom in a little bit more so you can see, like, the texture is kind of just awesome on this. So I'm going to not drippage again, but what I think I'm going to do is, I have this need to put like ink on this, and I'm just using Vintage Photo and just my applicator tool, and I'm going to just buff the color on, and my hope is that it will catch on all the raised edges. So what I was able to do by inking all those edges was able to get the kind of edges to fray and stick up, and I love it. And since all my brand new product line came in, I'm going to play, I think, with some of it. Oh, perfection. Loving those. Loving those. Maybe just 3. Oh, I love them. Love them. Not sure what I'm going to do from there, but that makes me incredibly happy. Okay, so I'm going to go look through my stash and see what I have, and come back to this. So I've got some of my linen thread, my linen cording here, and I think I'm going to kind of do like a little swirly thing down the side here. So I got this string laid down, and I think I'm going to play with some of my cabochons and putting those in there, which are just plastic molded flowers, which are just really dimensional and cool. And then I think I'm going to put some book text leaves in there. So I'm just going to freehand cut, of course out of Twilight, some leaves. That's just as perfect as that. Let's see if I can get another one in here. And this one probably needs to be cut down a little bit. That was a little largely offensive. And I'm going to spray it with some water, and I'm going to smush it up. And then I'm going to spray this with water and then smush it up. And what's going to happen is when you wet it, you activate the starches, and it's going to dry actually even harder than it started, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be able to shape this into some smushy kind of shape and dry it. And I should probably be using like a tweezer, but then I'd have to find it. So I'm just going to dry these in whatever shape they are here. And I know you can't see this, but you might be able to hear it. They're really kind of hard. And I'm thinking maybe some ink. They probably need to be a little inked. Probably need some more ink. A little vintage photo on there. Probably could put, ooh, I wonder what some crushed olive would look like. Oh, I like the crushed olive. I think crushed olive is becoming one of my new favorite colors. Some crushed olive. Stick, oh, I like that. Liking that. Of course, I'm going to need a third one. Alright, I'm going to work on making some leaves and putting them in here, and then I will be back. So I decided, I pulled out, the cabochons come in 2 different shades of pink, and I was going to go with all the dark, but I think I kind of like the light ones on the dark and the dark ones on the light. And they do have adhesive on the back. They were already sticky, but I'm going to put a little bit more because I've taken mine out of their packaging. And I have mine stored like this in here. So mine aren't as sticky as they should be right off the packaging because they've stuck to other things since. Alright, so I found these tiny little flowers and I just started cutting them off the stem. I mean, they're cute like that too, but I like the little blue that's in there, so I'm just going to go ahead and adhere those little blue ones down just for a little contrast in size and as well color. And I'll be back with some more design stuff. So I've got all the flowers on, and I'm thinking I might want to stamp, and I want to stamp Search Your Soul, Find Your Peace. And let's see, I've got these little alphabet stamps. Who makes these? Inkadinkadoo. And it will probably take me forever to find each letter. And I'm hoping that it stamps real nice. Let's see, I'll do another letter. If not, I'll write with a pen. Yeah, I'm not really liking that. You think, well, maybe I could write over it in pen. Let's go a little bit more. This stays on. Yeah, might as well finish the word. I hate it when things don't work out the way I like it, but maybe I'm just going to go with it. Maybe just wing it. Search. See, I can kind of see that. Let's see if I take like a pen. Maybe if I just take like a really fine pointed Sharpie and just go over that. It might work. Might work. I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's bad. So I'm going to keep going with that. I'm going to keep stamping and I will be right back. When all was said and done, I actually really like the way the stamps look, and I did need to go back in and kind of fill them in, but I really kind of like them still, and then I kept going. So it says, search your soul, find your peace, believe in your strength. And now, I think, you know, for the most part, I'm done, but I had a little tag out here, somewhere, here it is, and I'm thinking the date just might go here. Yeah, I want to rip it, because I always rip them. Don't want to rip it. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's get the date stamp out. And I have no idea what today is. Today is the 16th. Of course it is. Maybe green. Maybe I'm going to just go around this with the green, because that crushed olive has been making me ecstatically happy lately. Now let's get some of the color off and just kind of buff on there. Maybe even some vintage photo around the edges of that, just to darken it up. Oh, just put that anywhere. Oh, I like that. Alright, so I'm going to glue that down. I might even use some liquid scrap dots because it's kind of already dimensional. So maybe just, there we go. And kind of playing, I like how I just laid it down and then it just stayed, like I like that. So I might just kind of go with that, just let it stay there, and you can see that it will stay. It's all glued down. So do I want anything around the edges? Maybe a little green? Do you think the green around the edges? Or maybe a little bit more, maybe direct ink around the edges. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Maybe a little, oh, I like that. A little direct ink around the edges. Of course, note to self, this would have been easier before I had all the stuff on there. It's okay. Kind of liking that. That's good too. Cell phone ringing. Okay, that's my 10-year-old's cell phone. No, I'm not really sure why somebody's calling her during school. Alright, I'm loving that. I think that's where I'm going to stop for today. Inspiration Wednesday, done. Okay, I thought I was done, but then this was bothering me. I just didn't like it sitting there like that. So I'm going to glue just a page of book text on it, just so it doesn't bother me. It kind of fits just perfectly. I can just rip it. I can probably even just leave it kind of hanging off the edge there, but then I'm thinking like maybe do I go around the edges of that with green? Oh, because there's another little crushed olive moment for you. Maybe even a little vintage photo at that point. Did I lose my vintage photo? That makes me feel better. But then I'm thinking, like, do I have to do all those? Maybe I'll do the inside of that with book text too. Oh, it just doesn't stop. Alright, so I'm going to cover that up with book text, then I'll come back, and then we'll see if I'm really done. Now that I put the book text on both of these pages, I don't even need to do them. I'm just happy because it makes me feel happier. So now, officially finished with Inspiration Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday.